Well, we walk through our days putting on a face for those around us, but what's really going on inside? Why is there so much conflict and emotional suffering in our own lives, and how do we learn to heal ourselves? My next guest has the answer. Richard Moss has written this book. It's called Inside Out Healing, Transforming Your Life Through the Power of Presence. I love that title. Good morning to you, Richard. Good to see you.
Good morning, Danielle.
You and I were talking off camera. This is something that really resonates with me. Why are so many of us unhappy, and why do we blame everybody else for that unhappiness?
We haven't really claimed our minds for our careers, for cooking, for daily things, but most of the time our minds run wild, and we believe our thoughts. We believe our judgments of ourselves. We believe our judgments of other people. We get caught up in the way we remember the past, the stories we tell ourselves about the past, and this produces a whole range of emotion, because every time you think, it generates a cascade of neurotransmitters that generate a whole bunch of emotions like guilt and anger and resentment. And this is the source of conflict. We believe our thoughts and we're scared of our feelings.
What do you mean when you say in the book, changing your story? Because if it's already happened, how can you change it?
Well, you know, in a certain sense, nothing has already happened. Okay. Because this is, you and I are here. This is the only moment we're ever going to live. So what's happened in the past is what we remember, and we never remember it accurately. We reimagine it over and over and over again, and each time we reimagine it, we're telling ourselves a story, and that story is having an effect on us right now. When you tell yourself a story, he doesn't love me, the world doesn't work well, they're not fair, it should be something. In every one of these kinds of thoughts, you poison you do inner pollution. So it's an interpretation, it's a judgment. It isn't truth.
You say emotions and feelings are two very distinct aspects of ourselves. Explain this.
Exactly. Everybody understands that thinking is a mode of consciousness, but feeling is a mode of consciousness. A baby feels. A baby feels before it can think, before it can tell itself stories. When the parents are happy and in love, it feels good. If the parents are fighting, it feels bad, right? So feeling is a form of knowing that your body gets all the time in the moment. It's like weather, it's always changing. But emotion is a form of arousal in the body caused by a story, caused by the thought you tell yourself. So you have power over emotion because you can watch your thoughts and change them. But with feeling, you have to have a different kind of approach.
That's what I love about the book, that you make that distinction. And the other thing I love is how you talk about how you can help yourself heal from these negative emotions.
Because we are always aware of what we're thinking, there is a power to that awareness. The power is in the relationship. There's a distance. If I can be aware of my thoughts, I have distance from my thoughts. If I'm aware of a sensation, I have distance from the sensation, which means I can choose a way of relating to it. So when you're trying to deal with negative emotions, you have to see the story that's creating the emotion, step back from that story. So where do you step back to? Here, this moment, into your body, into your breathing, into your sensations, into what your eyes are actually seeing, into what your ears are actually hearing. And you just come back into the body, come back into the present moment, and that stops the emotions, the negative emotions in their tracks. You can't have negative emotions on a surfboard, or skiing, or dancing, or writing poetry. You cannot. It's because your body and your mind are doing the same thing, and so the emotion is gone.
I have to tell you, you certainly have taught me something this morning. I appreciate you coming by, Richard. What a great interview. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Thanks, Danielle.
So if you would like more information on Richard Moss or his book, once again, the book is called Inside Out Healing. Simply go to his website. It is richardmoss.com.